Hey guys, this is Mustang 030988's lesson on sweep arpeggios and how to use arpeggios in a major scale. Don't forget to rate and subscribe, and any questions or comments regarding this lesson, feel free to drop a message. I picked the key of C major to teach this lesson in because there's no sharps or flats, and in my opinion, it's the easiest major scale to use as a model. Now I know this is a guitar lesson, but we're going to take a look at a piano keyboard, then apply it to your guitar. In C major, there's 8 notes starting on your root note C, or known as a tonic. Since no black keys are used, the spacing or steps between the white keys vary. As you change the spacing between notes in a scale, the type of scale or mode varies. As for this lesson, I'm only going to be covering major scales. Now looking at 2 pairs of the white keys that do not have black keys separating them defines the half steps in C major. These half steps are located between the 3rd and 4th notes. To make a C major chord, the tonic, 3rd, and 5th of our scale are played. I've outlined these keys in red. Notice the spacing between the 1st and 3rd and our 3rd and 5th. Our major triad has 2 steps between the 1st and 3rd, and 1.5 steps between the 3rd and the 5th. So on guitar it would look like this. For all examples, I'm just going to show my guitar is tuned in drop B. So if you play in an alternate tuning, just transpose the shape up or down, just making sure you're on a C. Now although there's many ways to play a C major chord, when playing sweep arpeggios, it is important to remember they are normally played at a high rate of speed. Unnecessary movement up and down the neck will eventually limit the speed at which you can perform for arpeggios. Fingering for arpeggios comes down to personal preference, but is generally done only a few ways. After finding the notes for a C major chord, we're going to add a second C major chord an octave higher. The second C should be played with your middle finger, and your index finger should be used to hit the high E. I advise you not to bar with your index. It tends to sound sloppy. The high G should be hammered on and pulled off. Sweep picking is a technique that in theory seems easy but takes some practice. Your pickhand requires steady, consistent stroke, and it also needs to palm mute the strings that aren't currently being used. There are many different patterns and variations used. I'll show you guys a couple basic patterns. The shape or form can be moved up or down the neck to play other major chords and arpeggios. There are 3 major chords in C major: C major, F major, and G major. The 1st, 4th, and 5th of a major scale. If you were to play a C major arpeggio and move the whole shape up 5 frets, you'd be playing an F major arpeggio. If you were to move the shape up another 2 frets, you'd be playing a G major arpeggio. These 3 major arpeggios, C, F, and G, are the only major arpeggios that can be played in C major. I'll show you guys a couple exercises I use to practice major arpeggios. I want you guys to keep in mind that when you're moving towards your lower strings, that you guys should be up picking in the sweep. When you guys are moving towards your higher strings, you guys are down picking also in a sweep, unless you're hammering on or pulling off. The difference between a major and a minor triad is the intervals in between the 1st, 3rd, and 5th. A minor triad has 1.5 steps between the 1st and 3rd, and 2 steps between the 3rd and the 5th. So if you were to compare a minor triad to a major triad, the intervals would be reversed. The structure or shape of a minor arpeggio will also change and looks like this. The 3rd is lowered 1/2 step. The 3 minor chords in C major are D minor, E minor, and A minor. The same exercises and patterns used to practice major arpeggios can be used for minor arpeggios as well. So now you guys should be able to play C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, and A minor arpeggios, which brings us to the B. All triad chords in C major will either be a major or a minor, except for the 7th note. In this case, is a B. The B triad chord in C major is neither a minor or a major chord because the intervals between the 1st and 3rd and 3rd and 5th don't match either rule. This is how a B diminished arpeggio looks on a guitar neck. I hope this video helped you guys out. Any questions, comments? feel free to leave me a message. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to rate and subscribe.